what no one tells you about the cleaning industry. At the moment, setting up a cleaning business seems to be extremely popular. It seems to be all over the internet. The idea that you can run a cleaning business remotely, connect cleaners and clients together, add in a bit of technology, and then you can quickly scale to 7 figures. But in actual fact, there are some core facets of this business that are really important to be aware of. And many people skip over these things when they're talking about setting up and growing a cleaning business. And in this video, I want to tell you the 3 core things that remain within growing and scaling a cleaning business, whether you have technology or not. And it's really important that you're aware of these three things when you embark on your journey. So let's jump straight into it. So firstly, this is ultimately still a people management business, both in terms of managing clients on one side and managing cleaners on the other side. And if you're not comfortable with spending a large amount of your time managing those 2 groups, you shouldn't really think about getting started in this industry. So with clients, every individual client has individual requirements, individual expectations. They live in different properties. We're sending different cleaners to those clients. So there are lots and lots of moving parts, and it is inevitable that things will go wrong. You will not get a 5-star rating from every single client that you clean for. And it's this client management piece that is really important, because when things go wrong, what sets aside a really great cleaning business from a more mediocre cleaning business is this customer service piece. So if a client calls in, firstly, are you picking up the phone? Because you will be amazed at how many cleaning companies do not pick up phone calls. If they send an email into you, how quickly do you get back to that person? Do you try to propose some sort of resolution? Do you give money back? Do you send a cleaner back quickly? The customer service piece includes all of these things. So if it's taking a long time for you to respond to an email, or if the client is having to call up again to follow up on an email, or you send them an email that is, say, quite defensive in nature, disagreeing with, say, some feedback or complaint, that is not going to help with your customer service. The customer service piece is really important. We provide a cleaning service, but we also provide customer service. And you need to get these 2 pieces absolutely nailed down if you really want to grow a profitable business in this industry. As I said, the main thing here that I see that people get wrong is dealing with complaints. So we need to make sure when a complaint comes in that firstly we respond to that complaint very quickly. It can be simply a case of just acknowledging that message. So it could say an email comes in, or you can send an email back, I would say as quickly as possible, saying thank you for your email, we're just reviewing this, we'll follow up with your cleaner and get back to you. And then when you get back to that client, you need to not be too defensive, don't disagree, but really if you've got an unhappy client, you need to put yourself in that person's shoes and figure out what would be a good solution all around. And generally it would be either sending that cleaner to re-clean those areas that have been missed, or you may give some money back or give a free cleaning next time. All these types of things are really important, and this forms a core part of your client management piece, because as you grow your business, you will get more clients, you will get more issues coming your way. So if you don't have a very solid process to deal with your clients in this way, it's going to be really difficult to keep those clients on your book and to ultimately grow. So the client management piece is really important, but the cleaner management piece is as important as well, because let's say we're taking this client complaint example. A client complaint comes in. The first step should really be then following up with your cleaners. And the way that I would say not to do it would be to say your client has said you've not cleaned the worktop, or you've broken something, or something's missing, and not to engage with the cleaner and try and get their point of view. Because one of the biggest issues with growing a business in this industry is your cleaner churn rate. You'll find that a lot of companies will recruit a cleaner and then 3 months later they're gone, and they're in this cycle where they're not recruiting enough people, they're not sticking for long enough, and they can't grow in that way. So obviously the cleaner pay is really important, but another key point is engaging with your cleaners, making sure that your cleaners feel like you're listening to them. So don't always take the client's side with a complaint. understand what the cleaner has said, and then your position as the business owner or the office manager, if you're managing the day-to-day operations, is then think about how we can connect the two. If those two points of view are completely different, then we need to come up with a solution, such as maybe changing to another cleaner or giving money back. But it's important from the cleaner management point of view that the cleaner is feeling listened to. If they are completely being disregarded, they'll be unhappy, they'll disengage, they'll probably do a bad job, and they'll either leave or you'll need to get rid of them. The cleaner management piece is really important. And then more positively, we want to make sure that we try to build some loyalty with our cleaners. And something that worked well in my business is that we would have a catch up with our cleaners every couple of months, every 2 or 3 months. And it would be predominantly me at the very beginning. I would take them out for coffee and we'd just chat, just have a catch up, chat about their clients, but also chat more broadly about what's going on in their lives. And you showing interest in what their life as well is really important for building that relationship. It shows that you care, and you will find the longer you've been in business, often what happens in someone's personal life can bleed into what is happening professionally for them. I've come across it in many times where you could have a great cleaner getting great ratings, and for whatever reason, their ratings start to really fall off. And you'll find that something has happened in their personal life which has really knocked them off. Without understanding what's going on with them personally, if you see the ratings falling down, you might be forwarding complaints to them. Maybe the cleaner disengage, and you have a really great cleaner that is just going through a tough patch and they eventually leave, or you have to push them out. Something that works really well with managing your cleaners is checking in with them regularly. You don't need to take them out for a coffee, but I think that is a really great idea. You can call them, maybe you could do a monthly call with them. Other things that we did really well were we would do a cleaner of the month competition where the top rated cleaners for that month would get a bottle of champagne or some chocolates or some tickets to the cinema. These things all help with managing your cleaning and making sure if you have a happy cleaner, a workforce, then they will do a better job for you. Your clients will be better, happier, they will stay for longer, they'll pay you longer term, and the cleaners will also recommend that there are other friends who may be cleaners to your company as well. So this is still a people management business, both on the cleaners and the client side. If you're starting up a cleaning company thinking that this isn't the core part of what you do, this business is probably not the right one for you. So if you're finding the content helpful so far, please click and subscribe. It really helps me. Let's jump on to point 2. So point 2 is that the quality of service is still the most important factor. When we talk about how we grow a cleaning business, people talk about lots of different things. They talk about whether Google ads is better than Facebook ads. Do we need to get the pricing higher or the pricing lower? What is our website looking at? All these types of things. And these things are important. However, at the core of what you do, ultimately the biggest driver of success in your business will be the quality of your cleaning as well as the customer service, which we talked about in the last point. Because it doesn't matter how good your website is or how good your customer service is with dealing with complaints and things like that. If ultimately the quality of the cleaning is not good enough, your clients aren't going to stay. And if you've got clients leaving continually, you will find that to grow your business, you have to add more and more clients, and it will just get into the cycle of just losing too many clients. So you need to get the quality high to make sure that your recurring clients stay with you long time, and that is the way that you grow your business. A good number to have in the back of your mind if you're focused on recurring clients, particularly in the house cleaning industry, is you want to be at around 5% monthly churn. So that means only 5% or fewer of your clients are leaving you every single month. So let's say you had 100 recurring clients in your book. If 5 of those cancel each month for whatever reason, it could be moving out of town, it could be budgetary, it could be the quality of service. Obviously, we want to minimize that. But if you're at that 5% level or lower, it means that the quality of your services is high. If you're getting up from 5% to say 10% or even higher, it's likely that you have probably some quality issues at the heart of your business, and you need to get that nailed down as soon as possible, because the longer you leave it, the harder it will be to grow. And whenever a recurring client cancels, it's really important that you note down why they have cancelled. If they're moving out of town or if it's budgetary, there's not a huge amount that you can do. But if it is the quality of the service, then you know that you need to get that issue resolved. And then you can pinpoint it. You might find that all the complaints are coming from one or two particular cleaners. If it's happening across the board, then you know that you've got a broader issue across the company. But at the heart of growing a cleaning business, the quality of the cleaning is still ultimately the most important part of growing. So point 3 is then, this is still an old school industry. The telephone is still extremely important. So I know when I set up my own business 10 years ago, I looked at the industry as a very old school industry and one that I thought was really up for disruption. Lots of very old looking websites, people calling in, people not picking up the phone. I thought that if we could bring in an online booking capability to this industry, that would be the way to really succeed in growing a highly profitable business. In actual fact, the phone is still the most important way to communicate with clients, to communicate with cleaners, and also to close new client leads to booked clients. And 9 times out of 10, what I tell new business owners is that if a new client lead comes in, you really want to try and get that client on the phone. And the idea with that is that there is no better mechanism than the phone to build a bit of trust, build rapport, answer that client's questions, any concerns they have. And then once they feel happy with what they have heard from you, then you can close that client. Then you can get them booked on the schedule, the calendar, on the phone. It's far better and far easier to build that trust and rapport by a phone conversation than if you're going back and forth over email, or you're using an online booking form when someone has to type in their credit card details to secure a clean without speaking to anyone. Because ultimately, the clients are still trusting us to go into their home, to look after their home, to clean for their home. So it's a big step in trust. And if you're using a website with an online booking form, with a credit card field, the website just has to do an awful lot of heavy lifting. There has to be lots of social proof in there. The website has to be, there's got to be reviews all over the place. And the easier way to do that is just, instead of using an online booking form, would be either to make your phone number very upfront and central as one of your main call to actions. And then the other thing that you can do is just use a simple quote request form where someone can fill out their details, their phone number, their email address, what type of cleaning they're looking for, and the call to action would be to request a quote, and that would get emailed to you. You could then call back the client, and then that would be how you would engage and then try and close that client. So this industry is still a very old school one. I've A/B tested online booking and lead forms and calls, and ultimately it comes down to the phone for us. To give you a little bit of data, what we find is that if we are running an ads campaign, let's say we get 100 clicks, we would expect to get out of those 100 clicks to get, say, 20 leads. So it could be a mixture of phone calls and lead form submissions. And then out of those 20, we would expect to, say, close to 20 to 25% or even higher, depending on your pricing. Strategy with sending the 100 clicks to an online booking form, generally you'll find that there's only a 1 to 2% booking rate. So 100 people come in and you get 1 to 2 clients who book online through the form. You compare that 1 to 2 clients with the 4 clients or more using this phone call strategy. So you can see straight away there's a 2, 3, 4 times higher return on investment using the telephone as opposed to using an online booking funnel. So it's still an old school industry. Use the phone. This is the way that you're going to close most of your leads to clients and ultimately to grow your business. So if you're aware that these 3 things are still at the core of your cleaning business, and then you layer on software and technology to automate some of the more time-intensive tasks, that is when you will really start to see accelerated growth in your business. And in this next video, I'm going to take you through my top 5 apps that I have in my cleaning business. It will give you a great intro into the potential of using software in your cleaning business. So I'll see you on the next one.